track's great. You know, good track prep. They've put plenty of water down, but we had a real nice downpour last night. Probably just about perfect amount of rain came down. So it's chewed up enough, but not to the point where it's stodgy. There's no real obvious wet patches. Obviously, it's keeping the dust down. The track's whooping out nicely, and of course, look at it, nice sunny day at Hawkstone.
It is a nice sunny day.
Motocross, what's not to like?
You see, my default position is that ruts are not lines.
Yeah.
Lines is you go inside, I'll go outside, and then you'll go outside, and I'll be back on the inside. And when you see it deep groove, which you sometimes get around here, it can get literally ruts that run from corner to corner. Again, just because of the weather conditions, or maybe the prep being a little bit over exuberant. But I think that we've got this absolutely spot on. There's no dust.
No, we've got a brilliant race circuit today. Perfect. Absolutely. Oh, look at Aldridge's bike fishtailing as he got on the gas there. He either hit a rock that spun the wheel out, or there's a nasty little kicker there. But that thing definitely kicked about as he launched his way up that hill.
Fastest lap of the race for Rhys Jones. He's up to 4th. So 3.7 down on our race leaders. He's passed Mira on that one. Lee Cameron is the rider that's dropped down to 6th, but still a decent run for him. So the rest of them stream through. It's a packed field. These full grids then, Jeff, this is what we've come to see. Yeah,
brilliant stuff. And, you know, it's looking good for next year regards to the ACU championships as well. Obviously, the Clubman championship next year and the amateur championship will be 6 rounds, sort of separate to the pro championship. Don't know where those rounds are going to be, but Colin Hambridge and his team is going to be running the amateur and youth championship next year. So we're looking forward to see where that goes, and the British youth tied into that as well. And then the main pro championship will be MX1, MX2 and a 125 class over 8 rounds.
Yeah, well, looking forward to seeing how that pans out. It'd be nice to be part of it if that's the way that it goes down. But certainly what we need to be doing to keep the sport coherent and going in the right direction, certainly for the riders coming through into these classes. So there's the 104. So he's up to 3rd then. So he's demoted Fisher, I believe, halfway around that lap. So Greedy, our race leader, in shot. Then it's Aldridge. Then I think that it will be the 104 of Rhys Jones.
So that will put Rhys in the lead of the MX2 category. He's 3rd in the race, but he's the lead in MX2 category. So effectively, that gives him a 1-1 scorecard. Of course, what he wants more than that, he wants to actually win the race in its entirety. So that's what he's going to now try and do, chase down Aldridge and Greedy. And to be honest, I would expect that to happen. He's not without a fight. Both of those guys in front of him are going to be tough nuts to crack. But this should be a good moto between these 3 coming up.
So Greedy and Aldridge, then they are racing for position because they're both battling for the Amateur MX1 Championship. So it's Aldridge then starting to close in on the 33. The Welshman Josh Greedy. So yeah, Fisher drops to 4th, Mira 5th, Cameron 6th, Rory Jones 7th. Let's try and get a handle on where Rafe Broadley was. He's certainly onto the top half of our timing screens now, but how far up will be interesting to see.
Yeah, so I'll just explain it a bit further. I mean, most of you would have seen the social media posts and all the announcements. So effectively, what he's doing here is Rhys, he is scoring points towards the MXY2 ACU British Championship that normally runs aligned with the Dirt Store MXGB Championship. So they've kind of put the 2 championships together in one race here, and then we've got the 2 categories within the amateurs. We've basically got 3 championships going on here, really, all in one race. So this is obviously doing Rhys a power of good. Same with riders like Harrison Greenoff, who are racing in that as well, because we normally have the Youth 250 and 125 riding together at Dirt Store MXGB, but because we're doing this combined effort this weekend, we've separated them because we've got the 125 class tomorrow, and the 2 championships just had to come to a compromise with this youth category. So that's where we're at with it.
It's all a little bit up in the air, but it'll all come out in the wash. Broadley was in 26th, I think, last time across the line. So he's making a little bit, 24th, sorry. He's making progress, but not at a rate that's going to see him tight at the top. And as you say that, Jones has already got himself onto the back of the 67 of Scott Aldridge.
Yeah. This could just only be a matter of time. They're going to have to fight hard because Rhys is, we saw in the opening, who was that went around there? Lovely, did a little wheel tap around that corner. I think that was Joel Fisher or Jack Meara that just kind of...
think
Anyway,
it
it was
was
beautifully
Fisher.
done. But it looks to me like Jones is... Here he comes there into the sandpit. I think he's already made the move. If we go back to the... there they are. We should pick them up. Yeah, he's already past Aldridge. So he's got a slingshot round the outside. This is 250 power against MX1 power. And the line choice was the winner there for Rhys Jones as he goes into the lead of the race.
And I think Aldridge managed to sneak through as well. He did. So Aldridge now leads our MX1 race, with Greedy then dropping back already, has a look over his shoulder, but he's got a long way back then to Joel Fisher, who again, Fisher not in his class.
No, exactly.
So Greedy will just, he's a smart cookie when it comes to knowing what the points need to be.
Yeah, I think the next MX1 rider could have been as far down as David Plank, the Scottish rider. But
He was 10th in the first one, so I think that, Greedy will just keep his powder dry.
Exactly that, you know. He's doing well in that championship, and that's what it's all about. Remember, the fastest 40 guys, the amateur classes out here, they have still got another round to come after this. The final round 6, that is also tied into the two-stroke Apico Festival and the Red Bull Pro Stroke.
So Aldridge not giving this up.
No.
He's having a chase.
Yeah, good. That's what we like. He doesn't need to in many ways, does he? That's the point. Like, because he's in a separate class within the race. So, but it's always nice to see it when they do give it a go. I like that. They don't always have to. I guess that's the way you want to test yourself, don't it? You want to get pulled along in a race. That's the idea of a race.
But Scott Aldridge, another, a good journeyman, a good expert level rider.
Yeah.
And chases a few championships here and there, and always at the sharp end. And,
yeah, he's a great rider. You know, he's another rider that was, had good things going on in the youth career, and then for whatever reasons, I don't know, but just took some time away from the sport. At the higher level in his late teens and whatnot. But he was particularly good there for a little while in youth motocross, and obviously did growing up, went and got a regular job, did what he do, and now he's back. But he's like you said, he's always had the skill set, Phil.
Yeah, nice family as well, and obviously recent dad, got a youngster that I think was born not long after Barmouth Beach race last year. So
there you go. You was there, weren't you, doing the commentary?
Yeah, out there.
That's it.
That was my gig last year. Hopefully I'll be back there again this year. That is a cracking weekend.
It is, actually. It's it's just a nice place to be, isn't it? Let alone with bikes staring around on the beach.
And the town make a really, like everybody, really welcome and really enjoyable. And Scott, one of the guys there that figures at the front of that. It's a beach motocross format rather than a beach race. And so it's like 5 motos over the weekend for each class. And it's really cool.
And it's different. It's very different to Western. It's a different type of sand. It's
sand.
Yeah, it's deep, proper, duney type sand. And like you say, with the motocross format, it just makes it a bit more tense and intense and brutal.
It is literally a small track. You can see all of it. It's a completely different kettle of fish to it, to what you would consider a normal beach race to be. But a great weekend. And like I say, Scott Aldridge has been at the front of that. He had a bike problem last year and didn't quite get the overall, but. He's certainly going well in this one. We will have a look at the race leaders and see where we are. So Rhys Jones then from Scott Aldridge, 1.6 second. Josh Greedy now has dropped off to the tune of 6.8 seconds. Fisher is in there behind him. In fact, Fisher looks like he's going to be putting a pass on Greedy sometime soon, but Fisher on the 250. There's the 711 and the 71 of Meara. Meara makes a run around the outside. The 231 of Rory Jones in there, and the 417 of Harrison Greenhoff. So he made a better sight, Greenhoff, but he just hasn't gone forwards like he did in the last one. There's our race leader then, Rhys Jones on the 104, our dirt store, 250 red plate holder on that K-Tech KTM. Aldridge second then, and still decent battle. So Cameron there, he's there in 8th. Charlie Hamlet again in the top 10 in 9th, and 10th place then, David Plant. Again, just trying to get a sight in on Rafe Broadley on the timesheets. Our people's not as good as they used to be. He's up to 12th, so he's just on that last lap past Jamie Ford and Brad Thornhill, although Thornhill's on his way through. The 33 of Dan Brough, he's dropping through the field as well. So 5 laps in the books then for our race leader, Rhys Jones. 3.9 seconds then the gap back to Scott Aldridge, and Aldridge then deciding that maybe chasing down a race leader that he doesn't need to chase, he'll just take the points, and he will enjoy taking the class victory, having to fight through the field, and that will stand him in good stead for his championship. So Mira then has passed Greedy, so Mira is also a man on the move. We've seen some changes then in that lower order of the top 5. And we saw Mira make the move on Fisher. He's now past Greedy. So Jack Mira, our race leader, already through the show. And then we'll wait for the 71 of Mira. There he was, just came into shot. But he's about 20 seconds down on our race leader. Fallen rider there, Suzuki there, just tipped off. But really, really nice lines then from the number 104 of Rhys Jones. He started to check out at the front of this one then with Scott 4 seconds adrift with a few laps to go. Mira now up to 3rd. He's got some good passes in the last couple of laps, Jeff.
Well, he has, and he's a good solid rider from Northern Ireland. You know, those guys have got good sand tracks over there. McGilligan now, of course, they lost Desert 9, which is a shame for us all. But Mira likes these kind of conditions. Rhys will just use this as an absolute training session. You know, he'll keep the hammer down. He'll want to go the distance, not to just prove a point, to pull away from these guys. This is his learning year, getting ready for MX2 next year. He won't be racing tomorrow in MX2. I've already asked him that. He wants to complete the series in MXY2, get the job done, win the championship, go away in the off-season, and then get prepared for his pro debut next year.
So that's good to see. Sometimes, we'll just jump in and see how he goes, and if he obviously jumps in and gets, I won't say gets slaughtered, but if he jumps in and doesn't have a good day, then that'll not give him the greatest of confidence moving forward for next season. And
yeah, he's learnt a lot. You know, just speaking to him and his father last night, where they were just prepping the bikes. It's yeah, you know, it's all about that learning curve, and they realise they've done EMX 125 competition. They know what EMX is all about. Here we'll go and probably do some EMX 250 rounds next year, but the main thing is to try and be ready for that MX2 category in the UK, because the way it's shaping up for next year's championship, you know, we're going to open it up to 60 riders to try and qualify, and it should be, it's a competitive class this year. Definitely stepped up a level this year, so it'll be good to see Rhys out there making his pro debut next year.
And I think one of the things as well with having riders not having it like where you've got to register, you want to get down to having guys coming and having a go at the local rounds. The Scottish guys having a go when we go north of the border, if we go there, and then the same thing like down south. Just getting your local pros, your local expert guys coming and throwing their hat in the ring and go, well, I don't want to do them all, but the one down the road, I'm going to come and have a go and see if we can qualify. And to be fair, that was always how it used to be.
Yeah, exactly. Somebody told me that Greg Hanson's going to be doing the MX1 and MX2 next year.
Yeah, Iron Man in it.
We're going to get Greg on after this race while I go out and do the winner's circle, which is likely to be Rhys Jones as soon as we come back from that interview. Basically, he's going to take my position here and have a chat with Phil, and obviously because he's just raced the first Honda Cup. But I'll let Greg himself explain why he's going to sit the next 2 rounds. But let's just get Rhys over the line, and very shortly you'll be hearing from Greg about his experiences out there today and the many years that he's raced out around this track. Nice through there, just picking up that front wheel, that kind of technique that so many riders are learning now, just to not slam everything, just to try and caress your way around the track.
Yeah, it's all about conserving energy, isn't it? And not, as you said earlier on, smooth, and just keep the tanks full, not blast the energy out of yourself. Jones then just a nice leap into there, runs wide up the bank to stay out the deep ruts, and he'll go right up the edge here. Again, that's a line that you see develop throughout the day.
And that's commitment, because that is not even a sort of straight right. It's got like that curve into it. So if you got that slightly wrong on the angle, you'll probably have to do a lot of correction in the air. Anyway, I'm off to speak to Reese one more time, because it looks like he's going to get it done.
That's what last lap.
Oh no, sorry, I thought that was a checker
board.
there. Okay, well I'll wait another half lap then, just in case we get any major excitement. But right now it's Reese. He's gapped the field, comfortably winning the Dirt Store MXGB MXY2 category here. So adding more points to his championship.
So still Aldridge showing in second, and Rory Jones up to third. So what's the change there? Who's he deposed? Wait for the timing to flick back by. Yeah, so Jones has caught and passed Jack Meara. It was Meara that was in third, Greedy fourth, Meara now fourth, Greedy fifth, Harrison Greeno sixth, and it's Joel Fisher that's gone missing.
Right.
So the 7-11 of Joel Fisher is falling down the order until we see him come across the line with a green dot and a red arrow. We'll assume that he's going to keep falling. So he's come across the line in seventh, so the guy behind him eighth, Charlie Hamlet. So Hamlet having a really good run as well. He had a good top 10 in the first one. David Plank there in ninth. And, didn't quite catch who the 10th rider was on the live timing as they went through. We'll see if we can find where Rafe Broadley ended up. In fact,
Yeah,
Broadley's there in 11th.
That's a good comeback then, isn't it? Because
yeah,
he
Aidan
was.
Bruce in 10th. So Broadley's kind of hit the wall there. He's run out of people to catch, I think.
Yeah, I mean he was a long way down. So and it is getting warmer out there. It's muggy. We've just recently had the best spell of weather we've had all year. Finally,
Yeah.
It's actually felt like summer for this week for a little while there. Still does now. It's quite humid. So anyway, he's looking good here to get this #1 dump. Just bringing it home. As soon as he gets round to the sandpit, I'll exit, and Mr. Greg Hansen will fill my comfy chair. If his groin injury allows him to to sit down.
Is groin injury euphemism for electrical problem?
Yes, I'll let him explain. Right, I'm going to get out there and speak to Reese, and I'll let you bring this one in, Phil.
Yeah, okay. So, well, Jeff goes out there in victory lane and gets his job done, and we will comes across the line and takes victory. So victory then for our race leader and Dirt Store British 250 race winner and on-track winner, Reese Jones. Scott Aldridge will take the honours in amateur MX1, and then we will wait and see who comes across the line next. And like I say, it was a bit of change. It was Rory Jones that is going to come across in third, and that will give him the victory in the amateur MX2 class, with Rafe Broadley having a bit of a mare. He's going to end up in 10th or 12th and probably 3rd or 4th. Greenoff manages to make the pass on Greedy, although again they're not in the same class, so that's no real issue for Greedy. And yeah, that was another good race. Reese Jones not getting a decent start was definitely something that gave the race a little bit more excitement, but he motored through to take a win from Scott Aldridge by 11 seconds, and as a result of that, he will go into the final race of the day, leading his class, and he will be in the box seat for taking the overall victory in the Dirt Store 250 Championship. So last few riders coming over the line then, and we will go to a short ad break, and then we will be with Jeff down in victory lane.
Okay, here we are back in with the amateur class, but not amateur because it's the MXGB, MXY2 class. Making light work of that. We said early on in the race you was comfortably leading your class, but you wanted to press on and get the race win. So all aimed towards building and building and building towards next year.
Yeah, aiming, just getting my speed as high as I can and see if I can beat these guys out here. I know they're good riders, so it feels good beating them.
It must be actually pretty cool to like have that test, knowing that you got your race, your MXY2 race, but then to have these extra riders on the weekend to bigger guys that are on 450s to chase after.
Yeah, it makes me push even further, because if I got into just racing against my youth class, I'd just settle I'd just stay where I was, but making me push through and get my fitness higher, it's good for the longer races, you know.
Of course, racing, we never see what goes on under the lid. We only see that. Just tell us, you took a bit of a knock in that one. Explain what happened.
Yeah, as I got into the lead, I come around a tight corner and the fence, the rut's right close to the fence, and he got me, and it hurt for a few laps, but the adrenaline got it off.
You got big old shoulders, Reece. Yeah, you can man it out. Again, mate, while you're here, you might as well take advantage of all the people, give them a good name check, the people that help you out.
Yeah, cheers to everyone that sorts my bike out, Nick, K-Tech, cheers to my dad, Fox, Goggle Tech for my goggles, and yeah, everyone else, thank you.
Go and get yourself scrubbed up, cool shower, come out and do it again and keep this championship quest going. Well done, mate.
Thank you.
There you go, there's Reece Jones, another solid ride for him in the amateur class and the MXY2.
Hi, my name's Dave Thorpe. I run the Crendon True 7 Honda racing team. For the 2024 season, Honda UK have come up with a really good initiative. It's the CRF 250R Cup. It's an opportunity for you to enter through any official Honda UK dealership. You can sign up in there, or you can go online and register your interest in the Honda Cup. If you haven't got a new 2024 Honda, from 2021 upwards you can enter the series and have the possibility to win a brand new 2025 CRF 250R. Of course, not everybody can be a winner. There are 2 brand new 250 Hondas available. They will be selected by a panel of people that maybe look at riders, best presented, best attitude. You know, there's lots of reasons why you could win that extra bike.
Okay, so here we are then with our second of our Honda Cup races, and they're the number 260 then of Dylan Woodcock. Our first race victor then was the 407 of Adam Chatfield, and we look there. So the 01 bike there, I'm not quite sure who's on that, because that should have been the man sat next to me. Greg Hansen, you were out there this morning for this first race, but you picked up a bit of an injury. But great to have you sat next to me and watch this Honda Cup race unfold. How's your how are you feeling?
I'm actually feeling all right. It's just in practice I pulled my groin again, which I'd done a couple of weeks ago, and thought nothing of it